It's finally over. 2020 is done. 2021 is going to be up in the air, and it's either gonna go amazing or worse. I don't think it's good. And personally, I don't think it's generally gonna go worse. But only time can tell. Although I am generally excited for New Year. I'm excited for 2021. What am I doing right now? Nothing. I'm not doing anything really for New Year's right now. New Year's Eve. I'm at home, in my room. Just my mum is sleeping. And yeah, I'm not really doing anything. I could be out with friends, and I could be out going drinking. Doing that thing you do in New Year's Eves, but I'm not. We had plans to do that, but they just kind of fell out, and now everyone's just at home doing their own thing. And some of my friends are a bit disappointed. But for me, obviously, I am disappointed, but I'm not upset. And that's what I want to talk about before we get into 2021. By the time you watch this, it's probably 2021 right now. But before we generally start 2021, that's something I like to talk about right now, disappointments. Now, there was a time back then where, and this is something that everyone goes through, it's very relatable. There was a time where I would always want to go out. No matter what, I've always wanted to go out. Around 2016, it was at its worst. Around summer, I didn't really do a lot, and I was upset about that. I kept going up to my mum, Mum, I want to do something. I want to do something, and I started depending on her because I didn't think I could really do anything by myself. I didn't really have a lot of friends. I had three, but they were doing their own thing, and I couldn't really do. Just basically, I just couldn't really do a lot that I wanted to do. And I depended on my mum to help me out and get me to do something this year. I mean, the other year. But I'd be very disappointed. And when I got disappointed, I would be very, very, very upset. There's even some other times where, even for my birthday last year, I invited many, many friends and to my party last year, and only about 6 people came, and I invited about 20, 30 people. I know, right? It was yeah, I cried that day, but I was definitely disappointed and very upset. I actually did cry because I felt alone. I felt like I just felt like I had no support. But thinking about it now, obviously, there were people that came to the party, and that's what matters. People came to that party. Um, yeah, people came, they were people that came to the party, and I'm still hanging out with them to this day. Those are my true friends. The true friends that I would already hang out, even before the party happened, I'd hang out with them all the time, and they were the only true, the true people that only came to my party. But enough about my party, about and just in general, everything that would happen whenever I'd be excited for something, let's say, uh, we were planning to go to a concert in about a couple weeks or even a month or something like that. And I'd be very excited. Although I'd never been to a concert, and I never had that situation happen to me before. I've never been too interested in a concert. But let's take it as an example. You're very excited for a concert, and weeks come in. It's very close to that date to actually go to the concert. And then very close to that day, sometimes even on the day as well, something bad happens. Someone calls and be like, yeah, sorry, I can't come. It's something like, oh, someone can't come because something personal has happened, or the weather's probably so bad to the point where people can't even go outside. It could be cancelled. You never know. You never know what could happen. And then when you find out that it's not happening, you get disappointed, which leads to being very upset. And obviously, people do have the right to be disappointed. Um, am I disappointed that I'm not hanging out with my friends in New Year's, or doing something in New Year's? Yes, I am very disappointed that I am not hanging out with friends, but I'm not. I wouldn't say very disappointed. I am disappointed, but I'm not upset, if that makes any sense. I'm not upset to the point where I'd be sitting down right now and sulking and just being a bit bitchy, even though I am sitting down right now. But, just in general, I've come to the point where I expect, disappointments to happen. Like, from now on, it's like when we plan something, I do get excited. You do have the right to be excited for something happening, like you were going to a concert or something like that. Or you were going to a theme park. You've never been to a theme park and you want to go to a theme park. You have the right to be excited to go to a theme park. But you just got to remember that there are still possibilities that you could not go. Like, something, I don't know what could happen that can cause you not to go, but something might happen to the point where you just won't go, and then you'll be disappointed and upset. And once you start thinking about the possibility, with not only of a possibility that you can go, but also the possibility that you might not actually go, and you kind of put yourself back to reality. You put yourself just into reality thinking about that. Although you will be disappointed, you won't be upset. You won't, like, you'll be disappointed, but it won't, like, affect your mood. It won't make you cry about it, like I used to do back then. And that's just the lesson for today. Just, I mean, me saying this, probably you won't. You'll probably say like, "Oh, yeah, I get it," as in like you probably think you get it. You actually think you get it, but yeah, no, you probably don't. And you start, that's the thing with lessons. You just give people lessons, and they don't actually learn the lesson until something, a moment like happens to them or something like that. So you do have the right to be disappointed, but hopefully, I do hope that you come to a point where the disappointments don't affect your mood. And that's one of the reasons why I'm generally excited for next year, because I feel like I'm just not being too affected anymore. I kind of don't care about anything anymore. I just accepted life. I just understood that the world is very shit, and I'm like, cool. I understand the bad things that can happen in this world, but I understand the good things that can happen in this world. Um, and that's pretty much it. This is probably the first video I've ever done with no edits. This is just me talking and rambling and shit like that. I generally am excited for next year. There's a lot of things that are happening next year. I don't think I'm even gonna run out of YouTube video ideas anytime soon, because I basically got, let me tell you this, I've got around 30 plus video ideas. 30 plus, more, like somewhere around, I don't know specifically, I haven't really counted, but I've just been planning and planning and planning, and I'm gonna be doing videos that I can do. Like, I've got big ideas and little ideas, like ideas that I can do now, and then ideas that I just randomly think like I could do that, but I don't think I can do that now because I need either better quality, or I need more equipment, and I need more people to help me out actually make that video, because it requires people to either help me film it or be cast in it, or whatever I need for that video will be done. But there definitely are videos that I can do at the moment. I just have to really commit to it and take it very, very seriously, which I haven't been doing in the past 5 years. Even when I started YouTube again in 5 years ago, I wasn't taking it as seriously. But now I feel like I'm very confident in myself. Um, and I feel confident that I can make something out of whatever I do. And if I just focus and understand what's important, why I want to do this, what's my motivation, why do I do what I do, why do I keep doing YouTube, why do I want to, why do I want to achieve my long term goal, what keeps me in the short term goal. If as long as I understand what's important, I think I will definitely be, a better person that I want to be. Uh, there may be even a time where, a lot of people will know me more than me, and that will help me out. Um, yeah, just I've prepared myself for doing YouTube. I've thought about the many possibilities. There's still more. I'm not complete, obviously. I'm still learning, but for the first time, I feel a lot more confident since I started YouTube the first time, which was 10 years ago. 11 years ago, around 2009, when I first started doing YouTube, around 2009. I haven't felt confident since then. 5 years ago, I started my YouTube channel, but I wasn't as serious as what I am now with this. But in general, uh, again, me rambling. I ramble a lot. um, Happy New Year to everyone. Hoping that 2021 will be a great year, or better than 2020. I generally felt like I've had a much eye opener in 2020, and I feel like I've experienced a lot around 2020. So imagine what I could experience this year and more, because I've always been closed in, but now I just feel more open. Anyway, that's it. Now, if you'll excuse me, every New Year's I like to try and stay up and do an all-nighter, so I'm gonna do exactly that. I just need a lot of coffee, and which will probably kill me.